Hey everybody, welcome to Bones Collector, commercial free. That's pretty cool. And today's video is about top 10 games I played recently. I went to a convention, played some games, and I played some games here at home, but I want to share those with you because I think that's fun, and they're games that are in my library right now. And they might have been recently added, but they are in there. So I wanted to share those and talk to you about them today. So here they are, the top 10 games I played recently. And the first one I want to talk about is Safari Turbo. Safari Turbo is a game by Omar Tarancon, and this is a roll and move game. So you're not going to get blown away by the mechanics of this game, but I tell you what, it's a lot of fun. And you have asymmetrical player powers, so each player is going to have different abilities, and you also are going to be very interactive with the other players. So you got to kind of put on a thick skin when you play this game because you're going to be attacking other people. But it's lighthearted, fun, and it's a good time, and I play with my grandkids, and you're simply going to roll and move around a gorgeous board. Different things are going to happen to you, and you knock your Jeep over, you have little Jeeps that you're going to move, and you go into some lava flows and an ice track when you're trying to end the game. But it's got a lot of really cool stuff in it. I've played it quite a few times, and one thing I just very briefly I want to talk about the production of this game also. It's very, very off the charts. Omar really went the extra mile in this game. I'm going to see if I can take the lid off of this. And first thing I want to tell you is one thing, this is a beautiful, wonderful, strong box. And that really, for me, is something that's very important anymore. Some games, and I'm going to point one out here pretty soon, that has a box that just, I can't believe that they would make a box that thin anymore. But in this game, Omar did something that I don't see very often. And matter of fact, I don't think I've ever seen it. But the bags that come in it, number one, they're thick plastic bags, which is very cool, but they're labeled what goes in them, and that is pretty daggone cool. This says dice and G chips. So we got our dice in there and our Jeeps, and that's pretty cool. And then this bag says trading post, and that's got the trading post in here, and so that's really cool. I really am impressed with that. These are the dashboards that you use, and you have a bag for the different characters you can be in the game. So just an impressive production by Omar. I think he supervised all of this himself. He designed the game himself, and that's pretty impressive stuff, folks. I had one little tidbit of a thing that in the game, the only thing I could find that I really had a problem with was the dice that you roll to move. They are not sculpted, and they're light, so when they hit the board, they just flatten out and slide. And that's the only thing. Everything else in this game is off the charts production, and I really like it. But hey, it's a fun game. I wanted to tell you about it. I've been playing it lately, and that's Safari Turbo by Omar Tarancon. Okay, what else do I want to talk about? Gosh, I had so many good games here. Okay, this is a game, Yamatai by Bruno Cathala and Days of Wonder. Yamatai came out in 2017, and Lori and I played it a year and a half ago maybe at one of the conventions, and we liked it. I didn't know how much I liked it, because when you're at a convention, you're just grabbing a game. You're not going to spend as much time as you'd like to with that game because other people want that game, and plus you want to play as many games as you can while you're at the convention. So we zoomed through it, and we liked it. We didn't know how much we liked it, but we played it again at another convention and decided, hey, we really like this game and we want to get it. And Bruno Cathala this is by Bruno Cathala and Mark Paquin. So I want to give Mark also whatever credit he deserves. But Bruno does some games that we really enjoy, and I've got another one I'm going to talk about in a minute by him. But he also does 5 Tribes by Days of Wonder, and I don't know if that's a collaboration. It might have been, but I really like 5 Tribes also, by the way. Spoiler alert. But yeah, Yamatai is a game where you're going to be sailing ships in between a bunch of islands, and you can build buildings on those islands. There's a lot of different things you can do in this game to score, and one of them is building buildings on the islands, and all the islands have culture tokens on them, so you can use the strategy of building buildings and try and connect those together for bonus points, or you can collect culture tokens off those islands as you're traveling through in between them and trade those in for special power tokens, and that give you not only special powers and benefits, but victory points. So you can do a couple of different things in here to kind of secure a victory. Has a kind of a unique turn mechanism in it, player turns, so that's pretty cool too. And it's gorgeous to look at. It's Days of Wonder, and it's one of those games where it's medium complexity. It's where Lori and I like to play our board games. Takes about an hour for 2 players, and it's just a ton of fun. Yamatai, I really enjoyed it. I'm glad I put it in my library. All right, the next one I'm going to talk about is Quacks of Quinlanburg. Quacks of Quinlanburg is a game designed by Wolfgang Warsch, and this is another game we played probably a little over a year ago. And at the time, we rushed through it, played it, and didn't know how much we liked it. But after thinking about it a while, over a period of time, we played it again at the convention we were at, and we managed to pick up a copy. And we really enjoy it, Quacks of Quinlanburg. And in it, you're going to have a pot in front of you that you're going to draw tokens out of a bag and place on that pot. The further up that swirling pot you go, the higher you score your points, and you can buy more tokens that move you farther, faster up that pot spiral. And it's kind of a bag builder type of mechanism. It's a lot of fun. We really enjoy it, and we picked up a copy to put in our library. And oh my gosh, let me see here. And this is the game I was telling you about. The only thing about this game, it just frustrates me, is this box. It's like a Kleenex box thinness, and that's, I don't know, it's kind of unforgivable in today's world. But other than that, the game was great. I take that back. I also didn't like the quality of the tokens that you draw out of your bag. I think if you play this game a lot, those are going to wear out very quickly, and I'll show you what we did about that. We took our tokens and put them in these little plastic holders. So there's some of the tokens right there. Hope you can see that on the camera. If not, I'll put them up on the screen. But we got all these cheap plastic containers off of Amazon, I think, and put our tokens in there. That way they don't wear out and get all frayed on the edges and stuff, because they will do that because of the type of game that it is. You're constantly placing those tokens in the bag and drawing them out, so there is going to be wear on them. But the game itself, hey, plays wonderfully. It's a lot of fun. I think you guys will love it. And that's Quacks of Quinlanburg. What's it say here? Kenneth Spiel de Jaros 2018. Wow. Connoisseur's Game of the Year. So that's pretty cool. So it's not just me. I think everybody likes it. Came out in 2018. That's Quacks. Okay, another game that we just played again, and we really love it. We played it this week. It's called Habitats. And Habitats is a wonderfully themed game about exactly that, animal habitats. It's a tile laying game. It has a unique selection mechanism that you're going to use to select the tiles that you're going to place in your kingdom. So you have a guy that lays flat on his side, on his back I guess, and you can select a tile on his left arm, his right arm, or the top of his head, but not the bottom of his feet. And so you get to select from those 3 directions. When you select that, you have to point his feet at the direction where you came from and then replace that tile. So it's kind of, I don't know if I've ever seen that before, but it's a lot of fun to navigate through the, I think it's a grid of 4x4 maybe, or 5x5, I can't remember, but you're going to navigate through there because there's certain tiles you want, and you're going to have to use that selection mechanism to get to the tiles that you need. You might need a jungle, or you might need a water, and you have to be able to get there using the rules governing that guy and how he's going to be able to select a tile only on his left or right or at the top of his head. So you have to use those rules to maneuver through there. So that's pretty cool. And then you put those in your kingdom, and you have to satisfy that animal habitat. It has icons on the tiles. You know, it might need 2 water and a forest and a grassy field for a habitat, and you have to have those connected to that particular tile before you can score it. And you place them in your kingdom upside down until you satisfy that habitat. Then you flip them over, and that tells everybody and yourself that you've satisfied that habitat, and you can score that at the end of the game. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, anyways, hey, here's your little guys that I was talking about. Those guys are going to lay down on their backs, and you're going to move them around, sliding them around that grid to select your tiles. And then this is your habitats that you're building there. So that's pretty cool. And I love this game. I love the theme of it. And again, it's a lot of fun. Plays in about 30 minutes, and that's fun too. So yeah, Habitats. All right, what else we got here? I picked up a game called Prater. Prater's been around since 2015, I think. However, Prater, designed by Andrei Novak, and I had seen Prater played on YouTube a few times, and I thought, well, that looks like a pretty good game. But it's you don't see it very often. I don't know if it's still in print or not. I kind of kept my eye open for it, and at the VFM on the last convention we went to, it appeared, and I picked it up, and Lori and I have played it. It's a dice game, kind of, and a tile laying game, kind of. And you're going to select tiles and build a city. It looks just like that. And each one of those tiles has a function, and you're going to place your worker on there, which is your dice. Your dice are your workers, and you're going to place it on there, and you get to use that benefit for the value of the dice you place on it, which is in some other games. And then that worker is going to age. So if you use a 3 value, and when it comes back to your player mat, you have to upgrade it to a 4, and then so on and so forth. Start them on 1, and then you can go all the way up. And once you get to 6, you retire them, and they go in a special place on your player mat. And then there's one of those city tiles you can use where you can place one of your markers on that tile and use that 6, that retired 6, and get 6 of whatever that benefit is. So that's pretty cool. And of course they use that in Teotihuacan where the dice age. I think this one came out first. So Prater is a very, very fun Euro-style city building tile laying dice game, and I really, really enjoy it. But I finally got it in my library, and it's there to stay for quite a while. I really like it. It's Prater. All right. Okay, what else we got here? Okay, this is kind of a new game, Extraordinary Adventures Pirates, and this is by Glenn Drover and Don Beyer, produced by Forbidden Games. Man, it's a nice production too, folks. This has a really big board. There are no player mats, so that's its saving grace. But it has a big board that you're going to play on, kind of like a world map thing. It's got 3 shipping routes that your ships are going to travel on. All players will be on those, so you're going to be fighting over various locations as you go along those routes, and it's a lot of fun. It's point-to-point movement. You use a hand of cards. You have 5 cards in your hand. They have various movement values. In addition, on every card, other than the movement value, there's some text on there, so you can choose. You can use the card for its movement value, moving on the board, or you can use the text value, which maybe gives you a special benefit of some sort. So those are decisions you're going to make in this game. It's a deck builder too, so you can, in certain ports, you will pick up more cards that you can add to your deck, and your deck gets bigger and bigger and more powerful, and you get more higher movement value cards in there that help you move faster, or maybe help you go backwards, because once in a while that's convenient. So yeah, that's Extraordinary Adventures Pirates. Again, I picked this up at the convention we just went to, and I wanted to show you something, if I can, and yeah, I can do this without spilling stuff. I don't know if you can see that. It's got a nice plastic insert for all your goodies, a bag that you use to pull out cubes, and some heavy tiles, the bonus tiles, and again this great big board, which is, wow, thing's a monster. But I had fun playing this game, and usually I don't care for point-to-point movement games, but this one is a lot of fun, and I like the theme. It's a good time. That is Extraordinary Adventures Pirates. Takes about an hour to play, which is, that's where we like to play. All right, the next game I picked up recently also is Kingsburg. And Kingsburg came out quite a few years ago, 2008, so it's an older game, but I played it a few times at conventions, and I had it in the back of my mind, and I really, really enjoyed it, and I felt like this was a good time to pick it up, and so we picked up a copy of Kingsburg, and we really, really like playing this game. It's the right time frame for us. It's a lot of fun, which is a big factor when you're playing board games. If you play a board game that's not fun, why bother? But Kingsburg's a lot of fun, and it's a Euro-style game. You roll dice, and whatever your values are, I mean, the nobles on the board, I don't know if you can see that or not, but the nobles on the board have certain values, let's say, 11, 12, 13, 14, something like that, and you roll your dice, and you can use your dice any way you want to, because I think you're rolling 3, or use 2 dice on one spot, 1 on another, or one, and 1. You get the picture, all 3 of them on one noble. So depending on what you want to accomplish, you have to make those decisions throughout the game. You have a separate player mat with buildings on it that you're going to have to acquire resources to build. It gives you more benefits as you go along and scores you more points for the end of the game. You have monsters that you have to fight at the end of every round, so that's pretty cool, and I really, really like this game, Kingsburg. Here, I'll pull it around. We just picked this up, and it's designed by Andrea Chiaravesio and Luca Iannacco. So I slaughtered their games, I'm sure. Yeah, Kingsburg. Great game. Okay, let's do... Okay, this is called Ishtar by Bruno Cathala and Evan Singh. So he had a co-designer on this game. It's from 2 to 4 players, 14 and over, 45 minutes, that's about right. It's a tile laying game where you're building a garden, and once you put your tiles on the board, you have little, what are those, shepherds? I think your shepherds can, you're trying to, it's an area control type of situation where you want your garden to be as big as it can be to score as many points as possible, but you have to have your gardener on there. And the thing I love about this game, besides everything, is the fact that, I mean, you don't have to punch anything in this game. You open it up and it's ready to go. I mean, there's the board for the tiles that you're going to be selecting off of. You have these board. It's a modular board. It sets up differently every time you play the game. And check that out. It's got a place for everything that you have in this game, and it comes like that. You don't have to punch anything. That's pretty rare. I can't think of a game that was like that recently that I've picked up. And then the little temples that you're building around. So yeah, it's very, very cool. The production's amazing. The game is great. It plays in an hour, which is right where I like to play. I really, really enjoy Ishtar, and it fits right in there where we like to play board games. It's a lot of fun by Bruno Cathala. Check it out, man. If you get the chance to go to a convention, or if you know somebody that's got this board game, go play it and see if you like it, because I love it. And I bet you will too, but give it a try. Ishtar. Okay, the next game I played this week is Sagrada. I'll tell you an interesting story about Sagrada. I sold it and then I got it back because I felt like, here's what I did. I had Sagrada and Role Player, and they're very similar, those of you that game. And Role Player is a little more complex, deeper game, takes longer to play. Role Player takes probably about 90 minutes to play, I think. And we can play in 90 minutes probably 3 games of Sagrada. So I had sold Sagrada, kept Role Player. Then recently I sold Role Player, and I decided I wanted to get this back because it's a quicker game for what we're looking for, and I really, really love it. It's a puzzle that'll hurt your head, folks, and you have I don't know if you're familiar with the Sagrada in Spain, but these stained glass windows are famous, and your player board is a stained glass window. It has a card in it that you're going to slide right in the window that gives you some numbers and colors that you're going to have to satisfy when you place your dice. And it gets, I mean, you can't place any one number you can't place a 3 by a 3 or a 2 by a 2. You can't place a blue dice by a blue dice and things like that really make the puzzle hard to solve. And I love games like that have simple rule set. You can explain it to anybody, but it kind of really grinds your gears to make it happen, and that's what Sagrada does. I love it. I'm glad it's back in my library. I was so sad. As soon as I sold it, I was like, I shouldn't have done that. But I got it back, and I'm very happy and that I got Sagrada back in my library. But yeah, I hope you get a chance. If you haven't played this, it's wonderful, and it's going to be around for a long, long time. Okay, Sagrada. Now, the game I also played this week was Tapestry. Okay, I played it in November at the Orlando Games Con, but again, at a convention, I just didn't get to spend enough time with this game to know how much I liked it. I knew I liked it, but I didn't know how much. But I picked up this copy for 50 bucks, and I love that. Okay, as soon as I saw it for that, I grabbed it and brought it home, and Lori and I played it, and guess what? I'm in love with it. I really think Tapestry is amazing. And here's another thing I want to say about it. I did a video recently of my favorite games of 2019, and here's an update. Tapestry comes in number 2 right behind Isle of Cats. I mean, that's lofty. That's lofty status. So I had to bump out Old West Impresario, which is a great game too, a lot of fun. But I had to stick Tapestry in there for best games of 2019. Kind of amend my list a little bit. I'm not ashamed to do that because I didn't have enough time with this game. Now I'm going to tell you one thing. When you set this game up, it looks like a complex Euro, but the complexity level isn't very high. It's a very simple game to play, but it's very, very deep. So that's really cool. And the rule book, I think, is like 3-4 pages. Yeah, I mean, it's just a pamphlet. One thing that did confuse it a little bit, and it might help you, is if you get this game, it comes with 2 cards that are player aids that tell you how to go through your turn. Use that first and then make the rule book your reference. It tells you how to do each one of those turns. I was doing it the other way around. I was trying to read the rules and then use the player aid, but it didn't work very well. I did it the other way around. Boy, this game is pretty cool, you guys. And anybody that can take a game that is this deep and make it simple, my hat's off to him. So Jamie Stegmaier did a great job with this game. I don't know if I like it better than Viticulture. You know, I try to do that and compare board game designers to their own games. Viticulture I'm in love with. Tapestry I'm in love with. Again, it just shot up the list for best games of 2019. Tapestry, you gotta check it out. I don't know, you just gotta kind of look around like I did and hope you get a good deal. That's the games I played lately, you guys. I wanted to tell you about them. And again, Tapestry plays very quickly. It looks very big and complex, but it plays fast. And I really, really like it. I love it, as a matter of fact. And all those games I talked about, I love. So go check them out. They're a lot of fun. I love every one of you. Thanks for tuning in to watch The Old Bones Collector. Make sure you like. Please tell your friends to subscribe. If you haven't already, please subscribe. And I'll see you next time on The Bones Collector. And remember, keep on board gaming. It's the best hobby on the planet. Bye-bye.